Our lesson today is titled On Things Learned in the Home. I thought this was most appropriate because of Cain and Abel. There was a meeting in Saline, Michigan last year on the 4th of February. This meeting made the national news due to its title of Children Exhibiting in School, that which they see and hear daily at home. The meeting was about racist comments in our schools and was for all parents and guardians of children attending the schools of Saline, Michigan. But this isn't just about Saline, Michigan. This is about St. Cloud, Minnesota. It is about St. Cloud, Florida. This is about Apple Valley, Minnesota. Apple Valley, California. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis, Kansas. New York City, New York. New York Mills, Minnesota. In every other city around the world. A parent was relating how his child came home crying daily from the horrible things said to him by only a few students. Horrible names, horrible words. No third grader, about 9 years old, should ever know and shouldn't be hearing repeated out of the mouths of 8 and 9 years old. Then a white man in the back says, "Then why didn't you stay in Mexico?" During the newscast, there's a video of this, and the entire room gasped and turns around to see who said this most racist, most hateful thing in the forum to combat this exact type of hatred. The man asked, or mouths, because you can't hear it, "What's wrong with asking?" It's unheard over the tumult of disgust, but it's visible on the video. A black man rises. This is indicative of what our kids are experiencing right here. The origin of the meeting was hate speech, posted in group chats on Snapchat, that was screen saved to show parents and responsible adults. Then the information about the racist bullying going on since at least the start of the 2019-2020, not the past year, but the previous, the pre-COVID year, if not longer, came out. Dozens of students were victimized. Anyone who was not, one, not as pure white as the Michigan snows, two, not Christian, and three, and was not an athlete. In other words, they served no purpose socially to the haters. It was predominantly boys doing this hate speech, as were the public targets. Young girls and young women are far more vicious and covert with their hate, causing greater long-term damage with their words, and resulting in 8 times more impelled suicides. They cause more people to commit suicide. The females of this school are being very closely monitored, especially the female siblings of the hate speech males. They were all required to go through the same anger counseling the same hate deprogramming, to do what can be done to remove the hate-born, home-born speech of hate. The father with the hate speech at the meeting, the hate father, defended his right and the right of students to have the hate-filled Snapchat in the meeting. He said, quote, "Nobody was hurt in that. It was done off campus." Close quote. Thus we know which house and family generates hate for that school, and the parent that is the model for that hate speech, and who the instigator is. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey hear, monkey say. This is the basic rule of home education. What the child sees and hears at home, she or he says and does everywhere to imitate the home. The male child will closely ape their paternal model in behavior and speech, and also will be his sons more racist and hate-filled as the model. So grandfather, father, sons, each successive generation is more racist, and it's intensified, just as when you take a drug and each time you refine it, the drug becomes more and more and more, becomes stronger each time, each refining. Female children closely ape their female model, usually the mother, but with less incentive and rewards. They hate less strongly, but more covertly and viciously. Though in teenage years, children are supposed to separate from parents and cling to their peers. By then the models are well and truly set. A parent can't stop hate when the child is 13 years old saying, "Just kidding. Look, all my friends are black and Mexicans." The child would just hate the parent for being weak, two-faced, and spineless. Hate is the strongest emotion, and it is the most resistant to change due to how it connects with both the hormones of power, in other words, testosterone, as well as that part of the brain that deals with drives and passions, the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the PFC. The PFC is where the brain stores imagery of hate, usually from movies and video games. The PFC keeps getting stimulated, reinforcing the hate and making it stronger. Then the PFC pairs the hate with sex. So haters feel the hate zing, sexual urge. Watch a hate-filled video game, zing, sexual imagery is paired in the game until the hate is linked to the man's sexuality. This is why hate groups are 98.7% men in the United States. Women are brought in because men believe these women enjoy being raped and sexually dominated. This is what the fight is against. The PFC of 13-year-old boys visualizing and fantasizing about raping women as they hate and debase them. Sometimes boys as young as 10 years old. People wonder why so many of the goons on 6 January 2021 had their mothers with them as they stormed the U.S. Capitol building. It's because they've never had a relationship with any other female due to their sexual inappropriate connection between hate and sexuality. There's no romantic love in these hating goons. No normal woman would have them. To combat the hate in children, you must remove the value, take away the peer group, remove all initiators and all things sustaining it, counsel anger management. You must remove the value for the hate, the enjoyment, the power, the sex, the zing. Make them powerless and have them learn about love to gain any reward. If you are ever up against an adult hater, call the police. If you are up against a child hater, call the Department of Children and Family Services or Child Protection in your area. And you may possibly be able to create peace.